Hello profit takers, it's Victoria here and we are back with another video. We're going to talk about the profit takers alert dashboard. This is one of the best trend algo indicators on the market, guys. So let me show you why. All right, so we're going to get right to it. You know, some of the signals on here, I think is one of the most powerful things you could use when you're learning how to trade. And you know, if you want to make your strategy just a little bit easier, right? So you should have a basket of pairs. You should always have at least 3 or 4, maybe 6 pairs that you're looking at, because they're not always all going to be moving at the same day. And did you go and have all of them? Did you do all the analysis, right? You don't have to do that with this indicator, guys. Excuse me. It does it all for you. So we're just going to go through just a couple of my favorite setups, just talking about the days, right? And some of the things that I like to look for. Okay. So this is the euro pound. And guys, when I see this, when I see price do this here, this right here is technically the new peak. But for whatever the reason, this price reset. It reset the low. And when it did that, it now starts to count all over again. So then now this is day one. Okay. Now, if you didn't have the indicator, you probably would have been wondering what the world is going on here, right? But because this thing did reset, it just starts to count right all over again. So we just go with day one and we look at this push here. We always want to use the levels as our areas for execution. The levels I'm talking about is the blue tracer, the daily high low, and the open price. Closing price works too. I've always used the open price, so I don't really see any difference there. And then the fact that it is Tuesday, we always want to take the high and low of Tuesday and we want to mark it off because we're going to use it throughout the week. Trust me. Okay. So there we go. And as you can see, day 3, which is our reversal trade day, right? Sometimes it's a reversal, sometimes it's a trend. How do we know, right? So again, like I said, day 1 is the day where the breakout failed at the low, right? Which technically happened here on day 0. This just happens to be day 1 because of the reset. And so day 2, okay, which is Wednesday. Okay, day 2, we can often see a ranging market or we can see one of those EKG patterns, right? And as you can see, guys, I'm looking at M30 right now just so you can have more of a bird's eye view. You can see that price gave us an opportunity to take the entry right off of the initial balance high for Tuesday and the blue tracer, okay? Was it a beautiful entry? Absolutely. Did it give us a lot to work with for the day? Not really, but it still worked, right? You could have taken this trade and pulled this thing off or just held on to it, right? Whichever the case may be, but it would have still given you some pips. It didn't even go, guys, this wasn't even like a 20 pip trade, but did the pattern work out? It did. Did price do what we wanted it to do? Not really. Okay. So that was day 2. So day 3, we can already see the first leg of this M being built, right? So we come into the markets on day 3, we're at the high. You have an opportunity for the early birds to take this short on this reversal right off of the blue tracer, okay? Now, where will we get out of this particular pair? Right at not only is the Tuesday initial balance high, the area for the for us to take the trying to delete just that, take the, okay, this thing for us to take our profits. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Okay, it was also the open price. There we go. It just came back. So you can see the white line is the open price. And so now we have the opportunity on day 3 also to go long. And you can see clearly how price came down to the low of the day and then it started to reverse. Okay. Now I'm on M15. You can see this a little bit better. How you can take your entry right above the open price. Okay, powerful levels. And then of course your exit you can also use the blue tracer daily high and low to take your exit as well. Okay, so day 4, also printing another. Excuse me. Let me get this back. There we go. Day 4 is printing us another M pattern because this is the first leg of this M here with this W. And then we have an opportunity to short it. But again, guys, you never want to hold on to these shorts. If this is your trading opportunity, then take the short, but just don't hold on to it, all right? Because we're in a trending bull market, and you want to be able to go with the trend. That's really my view. But if you're available for the short, then just take it. But just remember that you don't want to hold on, okay? So again, we want to wait for prices to come back. So you can see the open and you can see the blue tracer, and those are the areas where we want to take our entries. All right, and that's day 4. Alrighty, let's look at EA, because I think EA was another great. This was really a great pattern. Look, guys, right here we have the break fell. That is our day 1. Look at day 2. It has the EKG pattern, and it also ranged for the rest of the market. I think we had news that day as well. You have to consider all these things. Day 3, which was a Wednesday, and how convenient was day 1 a Monday, day 2 a Tuesday, and then day 3 a Wednesday. How convenient is that? So we know that Wednesday is the midweek, and so day 3 often turns to day 1 for the count, and this is in the Stacy Burke world. He counts Wednesday not only as day 3 for the reversal or the continuation, but also day 1. Okay, so you can look at the counts either way. All right, so I'm looking at day 4 on Thursday, which is also a day 2. I'm not trying to confuse you all, but it also fits the category of ranging, being a ranging day, right? It did eventually play out, but it was towards the end of the trading session, and I don't know about you, but I'm not available for that, okay? But it was a ranging day, and prices did come up to the high, and it continued to range in the high on Friday, because I was really trying to see if this trade was going to give us a any kind of reversal trade in New York, and it just didn't. It just ranged, so we didn't get any opportunities, okay? Because if it did do what we needed to do, we would have wanted it to break down, at least break through these levels here, but it did not. It continued to stay in the high, and so it was not a good trade on Friday at all. And even to stay long, if we took it long, then you would have gotten the entry here, right in this area of the London session, and then it would have just kind of tinkered out, like just going nowhere for the rest of the day. I don't know about you, but if that was my trade, I would have ended up taking it off in New York. And then so that's it. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful start of the week, and these are the things that I'm looking for. So again, if I'm at this market at this particular pair, and it's a Tuesday, and this is because this is going to read a 1, and then on Tuesday it's going to read a 2. Okay, and so we know that the 2, which again, this never happens. It never happens where actually day 2 is actually 2 days of the low. It doesn't really work out that way. It's always going to be off by a day, right? It's always off by 1 day. But it just worked out so beautifully for this particular pattern. And if this worked out like this every single week, everybody be rich. Because the pattern would just be so easy. Even though you see these things happen over and over, it doesn't always work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday like that. Okay? All right. Dollar CAD. Let's go straight to that. Beautiful again. Monday, day 1. This trade, if you were lucky and was able to get into this trade, that is the long trade. Day two, the best entry was earlier in the session. Me coming into this market in New York and it's trailing up like this, it's not anything that I like to get into. I just leave that one alone, right? Even the same for day three. You would expect this thing to give us, because it looked like it, we had a high and perhaps we're going to have an M, but it didn't work out, right? So the continuation is on, right? I wouldn't have gotten in this trade because it was not doing anything, even though it did give you an opportunity in my window. And was still doing that funky up and down, of a trail of a channel, and I just don't care for those. So whatever that doesn't happen for day two, we always look to day three. Whatever doesn't happen for day three, we look for it on day four, which day four it did. And then we got our little funky EKG pattern, but it took 2 days to get it. We had a nice, and this, like I said, this is the first leg of the M. This is an actual beautiful reversal pattern. So the opportunity to take this short in the earlier London sessions was there, and you would take it. Absolutely. Just remember, you don't want to hold on. The moment it breaks through the previous day low, or you do know, or actually that was the day low. When the moment it gives you the low, don't you want to go ahead and get out, because you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes it may continue, right? It may continue to break down and boom, we have a new trend. However, we're still long. So I'm looking for this thing to go long, and that is the trade that I would have been in after this thing had finished breaking down. And again, it was a little later in the session. Let me put the scroll on there. Okay. So this right here is 9 o'clock, and it's 9:30. Still nothing for me. That's 10:30. So about 11 o'clock, right before lunchtime, is when it finally starts to give me the opportunity. So this is definitely a trade I could have gotten into. I don't remember if I actually took this trade or not, but this would have been one I would have taken it long. Okay. All right, let's look at some short trades, guys. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I just want you to know that, hey, this indicator, when in doubt, just look at another pair. Because there's already, it's already getting it done, the analyzations for you. You don't have to do any of that. All right, so Monday, again, perfect day one. Tuesday, day two, perfect entry as a trend trade. And then we want to go ahead and mark the low for the initial balance. We could do that as well for the high on Tuesday, and you see how you could have used this area. Okay. Now Wednesday, which was day three, did give us the reversal, the continuation. Again, not my favorite type of entries. I don't like that. And when I start seeing that, I just get out of the trade. I think I'll just wait for a better opportunity. Okay. You can trade it, absolutely, right off of the level of the open price, right to the low. We definitely want to take the profits there, because oftentimes, it's giving us the continuation, and we want it to break the previous day. That's what we want it to do. So that will definitely be our exit. Okay. And it looks like it took the whole day to get down there. So again, day one, day two, day three, day four. As you can see, day four, we have the first, day three was building that W, first leg. And now we are working through to that second leg. You had an opportunity, and you would have taken this because it's a valid trade. Look, you have the stop hunt, which is 1, 2, and then 3. 3 hits to the low. That is an opportunity for a stop hunt. Of course, you want to take it to the quarter. Whatever I see that's close is what I'm using, right? Just because this looks like it may have broken structure, it's a false break of structure, right? Because we are still going, we're still in short market, right? And unless that thing completely blew out the previous day high, then it's a false break. Okay. Well, it's a stop hunt, right? So that you can actually continue with the short trade. So that is a beautiful entry, and that one is in my time, I believe. Yep, look at that. Stop hunt at 9:30. All right, so one more and then we can call it a day. We're gonna look at the pound Swiss because this was another favorite one, because we had a beautiful break here within the daily the blue tracer. That was day one. Day two, nice trend trade. Draw our lines for the initial high and low because we're going to use them. Day three, we had the continuation and it put the low in place. So then, of course, if you are trading this, don't know, it's probably not a big favorite pair. But again, like I said, it's not about favorite pair. It's about the setups that show up. And it did give an opportunity to take this from a low of day trade, right, to finish out the trading session. All right, and you can see the W printing. So you have your first W, first leg. You almost have a W within a W because it has the 3 hits to the low. So the next day, the earlier sessions were able to take the stop hunt trade to the high. And again, it went to the quarter line and it was at the blue tracer, the daily high low. And that's where we get into go short. Okay. All right. So that was our day 4 trade with the continuation, and look just how beautiful that is, right? That's exactly what we're looking for. We want to take our trades right off of these levels. All right. So those were I just kind of went to day 4, guys, because that's usually where I like to call it, right? And then I just look at something else, right? That's just how easy I want to keep this trading life. So right now we have a couple of pairs here that I'll just come back to because you look at this one with NJ, we had day 1, Friday was day 2, it did nothing. So I'm expecting something to happen, okay? This is going to be day 3, technically, because 1, 2, and 3, technically I'm waiting for either it to break above the high, give us a stop hunt, and then continue on down. That's what I'm looking for, okay? So that's just how I do it. I want to keep it easy, want to keep it clean and simple. And that's how I use this this dashboard. I don't have to go do a bunch of technical analysis or anything like that because it's already pretty much done for me. And I just pick the pairs that are, one, moving in the time that I'm available. And if they have already moved, then I go to another pair. And I look, I just like, okay, this is a 3-day, this is basically a 3-day trade. I'm technically looking for continuation because nothing happened on Friday, right? So that's what I'm looking for, guys. And I want it to break through. It needs to break through that low so that we know we're going short, okay? Just keeping it simple. So I advise you to do the same thing. Get your hands on this indicator, guys. Information is going to be in the comment section below. And with that, we will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.